What's up YouTube? This is Sean from Flatland Jeeper. Want to do a quick intro here for this video on how to straighten your steering wheel after you put on a lift. You can do it too if you find that you've tweaked some of your suspension when you've been wheeling and your steering wheel's just off a little bit and you kind of bothers you or not. But it's a good thing to do this after you put on a lift, because what happens is when you put on a lift, you raise your suspension up, it changes the geometry of the steering linkage. And we all know geometry does fun things, but what happens is that it can actually pull your steering wheel one way or the other as far as rotating it as you're driving down the road. You'll still be driving straight, but the steering wheel will be off one direction or the other. So what from the videos that I did with the blinker switch and the horn button and everything that you saw before, hopefully you saw those. I'll put a link to those here. I had a couple different theories of what was going on with the steering wheel because I couldn't figure out why it was so far off. Finally checked out a few things and finally figured out that it was just that what they had done when the previous owner had done when they put the lift on was they had literally just pulled the steering wheel off, broke the horn button off, put the steering wheel back on straight, and then left it as is instead of actually fixing it the right way. So at first I thought maybe they'd replaced the intermediate shaft in the steering, the part that goes from the gearbox to the firewall, and thought that they had put that on wrong. Checked it out, it was fine, everything looked good. Traced for you a few other things, and I'll show that here in a couple different clips, but in this next clip. But after that, I've got another short intro from when I actually did the work that is the true problem. And basically what happened is they took the steering wheel off, just put it back on straight, and didn't adjust the drag link. The drag link is the part that connects your pitman arm to the rest of your steering. So I'll show you a quick little deal on how to do that, and it's a pretty simple fix, and it's one of those kind of trial by error things, but it only took me 2 tries, and it's something real simple that you can do in your driveway. So hope you enjoy the video. Leave comments below. Okay, so I think this is going to be a pretty simple fix here. I don't know for sure, but right down here is the knuckle, the first knuckle that comes out right there. Out of the steering column. So this is the part that comes out of the dash, and this goes, there's your linkage down to your gearbox. And funny, interesting enough, I think I gotta pull apart and see, but I think they might have put it on just rotated wrong. So I kind of straightened the wheels back up, and the steering wheel is literally 45 off, well, I guess, or 90 off. So I think this is what's going on, is that they replaced the steering shaft at some point and didn't keep the steering wheel straight, and they just put it together. So we're going to pull it apart real quick and see how this looks, and see if it'll mate back up when I straighten the wheel out. So we'll be back. Alright guys, so like I promised, here's a quick video. It's a simple in your own driveway kind of adjustment that you can do on your own steering and alignment that does not require you to take it to a dealership or a shop or anything. It does require a little bit of trial and error, but you can do it on your own in your own driveway. All you need is 13mm socket on a YJ and an impact or a really big breaker bar, because a lot of times these things get rusted out, especially where I'm at in the Rust Belt, and a big set of pliers. Now these are Nipex, these are giant pliers that I bought specifically for doing alignment work when I was working at the dealership. Now you can also use a pipe wrench. You can go to the box store and get your favorite pipe wrench, a big one, just so it has some teeth that bite into the metal and allows you to turn things. So what we're looking for here is this guy right here. The drag link connects your steering box pitman arm. So you got your steering box or steering gear, your pitman arm. It comes back and attaches to the drag link. Comes down across to your passenger side knuckle, and then the knuckle on the passenger side and the driver's side is connected with the tie rod. Now the tie rod is what controls your toe. So you're looking at your toe, if you're looking down the road, it's your tires going in or out like this as you go down the road. Basically pigeon toeing them or duck footing it as you go down the road. those you want to have done. I would suggest taking it someplace to get the alignment done. There's ways to do it. There's string methods and all this other stuff. I've done it once when I was working on military vehicles, and it's a really long, involved process. If you got the time, by all means, go for it. But this is something that you can do that a lot of people don't do when they do lifts. Like I said before with the previous owner on this vehicle, they put the lift on it, didn't adjust this, and to get the steering wheel back straight, they just broke off the horn button connection and just slap the steering wheel back on straight. You want to do it right, do it right. So this is what you have to adjust to get that steering wheel from being like this back to being like this, straight as you go down the road. Now, of course, playing into that is ball joints and looseness of play and everything like that, which you can tell mine are pretty worn out. But I went from having my steering wheel like this to now it's like this, so I went too far, so I got to bring it back a little bit, and I'll show you guys how to do that. You want to make sure the key is in the ignition and it's turned on, and not running, but have it turned on so that the steering wheel can move freely without the lock engaging. And then you have to loosen a 13mm nut here and a 13mm nut here, and then this bar turns on the threads on each side, and that's what you need the pliers for. As you can see, I had to work mine for a while to get to break free to begin with. I had to use a lot of rust penetrant, some heat, and a big hammer. But we're gonna adjust that back right now, and I'll try to get some video and show you guys how I do this here. And you don't need to take these nuts all the way off. Just use the 13mm box wrench on the back side, or down here because the clearance is really tight. I had to use the open end. Just got to back them off to loosen them up so that they can move like that. So then you know you're not going to be so tight you can't turn it. This one's a little tight. Play with that, see how it goes. So then with your pipe wrench or whatever, you got your teeth, you just want to make sure that's biting in the way you want it to go. And I want to turn mine, I believe, this way. Nope, wrong way. I'm going to turn it the other way. So I'm looking at the pitman arm and seeing which way it's going. So whichever direction that pitman arm goes is the way your steering wheel is turning, as if you're turning it to the left or the right. I want the steering wheel to come back to the right, to the passenger side, so I need the pitman arm to pull back this way. The wrong way. So as you can see, I only turned it maybe not even a full rotation, just a half. So now we're going to go check the steering wheel. Okay, so not a lot of change. It was like this, so now it's like this. I just need to go a little bit more, and we'll just trial and error, and then you go test drive it, see how it sits, and then just keep making the adjustments. So that's it, guys. That's all it takes to adjust your steering wheel like that, especially after you do a lift. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It does require a little bit of, I wouldn't even say special tools, just different tools than you might necessarily have in your generic mechanics toolbox. But it's pretty straightforward. It's a real simple process. If all you need is your steering wheel straightened, it's really easy to do in your driveway. If you, like I said, if you need your toe fixed, if you're getting uneven tire wear, that kind of stuff, then you definitely want to actually take it somewhere to get the alignment done. But there are methods out there. Some people have done tape measures, especially if it's just a wheeling rig. Mine's a little bit of a daily driver, so I'm going to get mine eventually, replace the steering linkage and get an alignment done. But if you don't need an alignment done, or it is just a wheeling rig, that's a real simple way to straighten your steering wheel after you do an alignment. So Hope you guys learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. If you got any questions, leave a comment below. Leave comments below in general if you got a 2 cents to throw in on that. If I missed something or think I did some information wrong. And like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.